Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, welcome back to a new video. Listen, this video is gonna be all over the place. It's gonna start off with me going over my upper back and abs routine, and then after that, gradually, I'm gonna jump into my thoughts, my feelings, my introspection on firstly having to go from the city life back to the countryside and how it has affected me and my girlfriend and my relationship. So if you want to skip to the part and you don't care about me trying to be a gym instructor, then just go ahead and skip the beginning of the video. But if you want the wholesome experience, stay tuned, enjoy, and most importantly, don't forget to listen to the sound of nature. Another day in quarantine, another day trying to stay in the best shape of my life. As you guys know, I've been doing a lot of exercises with my barbell. I've been doing military presses, rows, bicep curls, even bench presses, but I have found it so hard to really target my back. I needed a pull-up bar for that. So I asked my dad yesterday if he could help me out. Is voila, this is what we came up with. We just put together this thing yesterday. I mean, it's pretty straightforward, as you can tell. Luckily for me, my dad knows all about welding and metal construction, so we just put this here so I can do my pull-ups, I can do my abs. For me, the only ab workout that really makes me feel like I hit my abs is actually doing hanging leg raises. So that's why I need this bar. So I'm gonna be doing some pull-ups and I'm gonna be doing some hanging leg races, and in the meantime I'm not gonna put no music on it. Just relax and listen to the beautiful sounds of nature. I'm so incredibly blessed to be able to spend this quarantine on the countryside in Belgium. So right now, first off, I'm gonna do a set of about 12 pull-ups like this. Let's go. There you have it. I like to do at least 4 sets of these. What's also something you can do is actually take a backpack, put some weight in it, and that way we can do weighted pull-ups. I'll be doing that a little bit later, but obviously the first few sets I like to just go for volume, as many reps as I can, and then later on I try to just go for a couple of reps with the weighted backpack. Gonna jump into the second set. I think the first set I did more than 12, but I like to just wrap it out, especially when I'm only doing body weight. I try to go until failure, basically. That's what I recommend. Pull-ups is the key for upper back and bicep development. It's such a wholesome exercise. I cannot recommend it anymore. Alright, so let's go. Let's see how many we got.
I'm gonna park my race on the grass at your bitch house. Talk that shit, I'm shit mouth. I flip this money, babe. Watch that perfect dismount. I say thank God all my bills paid. Knock on wood, my mama good. Knock twice cause she gave me life. Don't forget that you're on the could, man.
Little bit of introspection in between sets. Having forcibly been moved from Barcelona back to the Belgian countryside, it's gotten me and Katja to thinking, and honestly, and I say this with all due respect to all the people suffering in this corona crisis, but we've been having a really good time out here, just being away from the crazy city life and connecting with nature. We've just been resting better than ever. Like, there's something to be said about the quality of sleep in the city and the quality of sleep on the countryside. I just have this theory that when you're living in a city, right, you're just basically, what a city is, it's people stacking more people on top of people. Like, that's the whole premise of an apartment building. You have your own little apartment with a few roommates on top of that, and then there's like 100 people below you and 150 people on top of you, and like, it's all this energy. Like, every single human being is basically its own little power plant, its own little radiating source of energy, and all this radiation, all this energy, not to mention on top of that all of the radiations from all of the cell phones, because there's so many, there's thousands and thousands of people constantly you know, sending out beams and signals into the atmosphere, right? So if you put all this together, I just have the theory that city life just wears you down. It just wears you down, and it's harder to recover, it's harder to rest, because you're just in a constant current, you're in constant friction. The comparison I always like to make is living in a city is basically like driving in a car and rolling the window down and just constantly sticking your head through the window. You guys know what that feels like when the friction of the wind is so heavy, your skin, your hair is being pulled back because of the force of the wind. And that's kind of how I feel that the energy, the flow, the current of the city is. And I just have this feeling that whenever I leave the city, I feel better, I feel more at peace, I recover better, I work out better, I make better content, just everything is just better because I have more energy, because at the end of the day, everything boils down to energy. Like, it doesn't matter how many great ideas you have if you don't have the energy to execute them. And it's just gotten me to thinking, and I'm not gonna say anything definite, but it's been an eye-opener, and it's definitely something to be conscious of for me and for my girlfriend Katya, that maybe we might be better off moving to a place like this. Before I jump into my next set, I just wanna say one thing. You guys ever noticed the way old people in the city look? Compare old people, I'm talking like 60, 70, 75 plus, in the city to old people on the countryside. Old people in the city, they just look more worn down. They just look like they have lived a harder life. That's just, you know, that's just how I feel. Just, maybe it's me, man. I don't have real statistics or facts, you know, to back this up, but just pay attention. Compare the way old people in the city look to old people in the countryside, and tell me you don't see a difference. That's all I'm saying, man. Maybe I'm completely wrong, but it's just my intuition, it's my personal observation, it's my feeling telling me that. So yeah, food for thought. Alright guys, we got 2 sets in, we got the guns warmed up, so now we're gonna spice things up. We're gonna take this 10 kilogram weight, put it in this backpack, and just see how many we got with this extra weight. Obviously this way, we're transitioning from body weight more to like traditional gym bodybuilding exercises, where you're really trying to overload the muscle and destroy that muscle fiber. So I figure I got about, if I can do 8 with this, I'll be very happy. If I can do 8, I'll be very happy. So let's see. Oh, 10. As you can tell, it's a lot heavier, but also very efficient. Alright guys, I'm gonna do about 3 sets more of pull-ups, but I don't want to make my dad film me all day, so before I do, I'm going to show you guys how I train my abs. Like I said, I didn't train abs for the longest time because I just never find the right exercise to really target the muscle to make me feel sore, to get any type of evolution going. But for me, this exercise is the absolute holy grail of all ab exercises: hanging leg raises. If you haven't tried it, I could not recommend it anymore. It's all I do for abs, and it's highly effective. Alright. I like to start off with so-called windshield wipers. I hope I have enough space to do them, and then when I get too tired to do those, I transition into just normal leg races. So let's go. I'm getting tired, so now I'm gonna do normal ones. Just one set of those, and I guarantee your abs are gonna be on fire. 3 sets of these, that's all I need for abs, man. That's it. A wild Inca princess appears.
Oh wow, that's cool.
That's cool, right?
Oh my god.
Me and my dad made it yesterday.
So cool.
Right?
What?
Look, super simple the way we did it. Yeah. So, my girl's working the remote. That means she is behind her little desk, hammering away at her keyboard, being a very good Scrum Master. But right now,
Half Scrum Master.
half Scrum Master.
Meanwhile.
But right now, we're going to be doing some squats and blow up the Inca booty. Baby, can you talk about the transition from Barcelona city life, living there, and us being forced to all of a sudden move here to the Belgian countryside, and the differences from your perspective?
Well, first of all, I think it has got a super big impact on us, on both of us, on our health, on the way we are doing sport, on the way we're eating, on the way we're sleeping. I think it's super positive, and yeah, that we are a lot more rested. We are being both more productive, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
And that, yeah, sure, I mean, as I was telling you before, I don't think there is a better place to be right now. It's like we are in the countryside, we have a lot of space, it's super green here, the sun is shining, spring is coming, it feels really good, and yeah, it's I'm really sad to say it this way, but I think it's like, I know there's a lot of people that are suffering, and it's one of the worst like times for humans now, like for people, but we are blessed to be here, and we are blessed to be, yeah, in such a nice place like this.
And talk more about how you feel in terms of like sleeping and resting, how you feel in the morning, Barcelona compared to here.
Like, I brought my earplugs because I usually sleep with them. Like every night I need to sleep with earplugs on, and I haven't used them even once. It's like I don't need it because it's so quiet here. I rest super deeply. Also, I think it's because we eat before, so my body has a lot more time to digest before we go to sleep. I wake up feeling super light. I don't have this feeling of, oh, my stomach is full, and
actually,
and also like I wake up and it's super sunny already, and it's like the birds are singing, fresh air. It's really nice.
And I don't want to cut you off, but that's one of my pet peeves, something that I think is so incredibly important, right? People always talk about cultures are different, everyone has their way, there is no right or wrong way to do something, and there's just different ways. Right, So, for example, in Spain, people have lunch at 3 p.m.
No,
and they have dinner.
not at 3.
Oh, okay. Let's say 2:30.
2 at 2. No, in my job we have dinner. We have lunch at 1. 3
At
p.m. is
1?
Yeah.
Who in Spain has lunch at 1? At 1?
We always have lunch at 1.
Baby, but in general in Spain, people have lunch at 2 or 2:30.
At 2 to 30, but not 3.
So in Spain, for example, people have lunch at 2 and have dinner at 8, right? And I've always thought that was the silliest, you know, thing ever. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me from a nutritional standpoint. Like, how are you going to stock up on carbs and food at 8? And people, it's really not weird for people to even have dinner at 9. Like,
no.
people have dinner at 9, 9:15. Like, that is not out of the ordinary in Spain. And I was always like, that's just silly, because in Belgium, you have lunch at 1, you have dinner at 6, and I just feel it's a much more natural way of processing food. Like, that way you don't go to bed with a full stomach, you're not so bloated, and you don't need all that energy during the nighttime anyway, right? And this is just like right now, Katya is kind of forced to follow me and my family's pattern of having breakfast early, having lunch at 1, having dinner at 6, and she's feeling a lot better. Like, she has experienced many stomach issues in the past, and right now, you know, all of that is just getting better and better because there's more structure and it just makes more sense. So not to disrespect anyone living in Spain, but there is definitely something to be said about just because people have been doing something for 1,000 years doesn't always mean it's a good idea. That's all, you know, that's just some food for thought. You can take that the way you want it to. Just think about that one. And when it comes to eating, for me, it doesn't make sense to have dinner at 9 and go to bed at midnight. I know people like to talk about, I'm a morning person, I'm an evening person. But at the end of the day, man, looking from a biological point of view, humans are kind of designed and made to sleep when it's dark and be out when it's light. So if you're going to bed past midnight every single day, that might not be the healthiest and best thing for you. In general, you know, that's what I think. Those are my beliefs. I'm not a doctor, but again, food for thought.
In the backyard where the dog at, driveway where the hogs at. Can't beat this shit, nigga. Lord knows I fought back. We live, nigga, let's broadcast. You caught that? New car get brought back. That motherfucker don't haul ass, I swear.
Before we go, I wanted to add something else, you know, just some thoughts. We were filming before that it got deleted. When we talk about the comparisons between city life and countryside life, it's not my intention to demonize city life. I'm not trying to say one is better than the other. I just think it depends on who you are and where you're at in your life. So what I think is, like, the city's amazing if you're young and single and you're looking. There's a lot of nightlife. There's a lot of people who are also single and looking, trying to mingle. And I just think that as soon as you find yourself in a serious, committed relationship, you're no longer in your 20s like the two of us, things just shift. Like your priorities just shift. And I think that's kind of what we're experiencing right now. Now, I'm not making this video to make any definitive statements. As of right now, the plan is still to go back to Barcelona, but it's just interesting. We're just trying to give you guys a pure and honest perspective as we are progressing through these days of quarantine on the countryside, how we're feeling, you know, what we're thinking about, and we just want to give you guys a outlook into our minds. That being said, we also want to use this so we can go back at a later time and see how we were feeling at this moment in time in this location. It's very important because the human memory is a very fickle thing, and it becomes very cloudy and gets tainted by very subjective experiences. So it's important to make this kind of video diary, not just for you guys, but for us as well. So we hope you appreciate it. We hope you enjoyed the video. Comment below what more things you would like us to talk about and film. And as always, we will deliver. Thank you guys so much. Shout out to all the members, all the Viking infantry, all the Viking archery. We love you guys. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for supporting me and my Inca Queen right here. Well, Inca Princess. We're not married yet. So you're just Inca Princess. Thank you for watching. We'll be back soon. You want to do the double pump? Double barrel Viking salute? You wanna try it, baby? No, you gotta do it with 2 hands though. You gotta do it like like this. Like this. Okay. See you guys.